This is a presentation of the Badlands Media Network.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am coming to you live from what the locals call the City Beautiful, Orlando, FLA. Today is April 19th, 2023, and this is episode 68 of the Rattlegator Report. Thank you for joining me on this very casual, informal show. Things haven't gone exactly as planned. I've been up forever, and I fly out later today, but I wanted to go ahead and do a broadcast. I'm hoping I see, again, I got to get used to this different setup, so y'all bear with me. Um, Let me know how the world is getting crazier and what we can talk about today. I can tell you that I am more than a little bit geeked to be escaping the reality of my current situation and getting out to Arizona for what may very well be some rest and relaxation, just as much as a conference of mixing and mingling with the Badlands media content creators. But I'm really geeked to be meeting these young people. You know, I think I'm the oldest guy in the group. And, you know, young people, younger than you are by a decade or more, are always interesting to just, be around and see, what's what and what they think about these different things, even some of my positions that they may find a little weird or naive or whatever. But let me check in with the chat real quick. Yeah, we're going to have, T. Geller, difficult days, but we need to embrace those difficult days with optimism because this is the greatest nation on planet Earth. And everything we're fighting for is worth it. And I don't think the opposition is going to be as strident. I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as it seems, because so much of that, in my estimation, very biased estimation, is a mile wide and an inch deep. So much of this bullshit is just superficial. There's no real depth to it. Um, it but we'll see how it plays out. Uh, there's that smiling face. Thank you, Nancy Patriot. 9 teaspoons of added sugar per day. Get rid of the carbs. Yeah, going to be difficult, but I'm going to make a good faith effort. Good morning, Net Folks One. And yes, Diana, God bless America. God bless us all. It's an important day. I really, I don't want to oversell it, but this little get together could be at a really interesting time in our history. And I very much believe in these little ripples that we can cast out on the psyche of the nation. And so it's an appropriate name, Great American Restoration Tour, I think. And I don't want to show my East Coast or Eastern time zone bias, but we absolutely need to have something in the Eastern time zone. I think this is the most populated time zone in the nation, and I don't think between Threadfest and what's happening with Badlands, I don't think we've had anything in the Eastern time zone. I may be wrong. Y'all correct me. But very much looking forward to more of these in my time zone. Coffee and JB, what a great way to start your day. Joe K, you're the best. Thank you so much. I had to stop at Dunkin' and get me some breakfast real quick and my coffee. So, yeah, this is still weighing on my mind. How exactly am I going to mitigate? Do I have to mitigate my coffee intake to make some serious progress on the reduction in sugar? We'll see. We will see. Trump released a second set of NFTs the other day and sold out in less than 24 hours. Isn't that interesting, Eurythmic? Now, I think there's some differences of opinion. I think there's kind of, sort of, and this is Trumpian to me. I may be wrong, but there's like a twofold. I made a point to someone earlier that this is one of Trump's efforts at kind of signaling to us and baiting some of his followers that he knows are somewhat skeptical of this technological revolution into this technical revolution, getting situated and a little bit more comfortable with, okay, this is what they're doing and this is how they're doing it. All right, set up your account, be ready to take the next step. But it's also a honeypot to draw in those people who absolutely want to do damage to Donald Trump and the MAGA movement. So it's like, wow, you really put this thing to diverse use. And I just love the thought of that, even if I happen to turn out to be wrong. I don't think so, but that's what I think. There's something going on beyond what meets the eye with these NFTs. They wouldn't take your credit card, Diana? Learn to drink the coffee black. My mother drank her coffee black, and I didn't drink coffee until I entered law school, really. And yeah, that is when I really started overdosing on the sugar because I was eating peanut butter and banana sandwiches like crazy. And the rest is history. But yeah, I'm trying some sugar substitutes. Stevia is in the mix. I'm doing additions to the coffee, a drop of vanilla. That's a good suggestion. You tried to buy a car, Joe K. Wow, don't use Bitcoin to buy this stuff. Satoshis, don't. I wouldn't. Yeah, Eurythmic. I don't think people realize the breadth of Donald Trump's strategery, how much he loves humor, double entendres, and things like that. Once you go black, watch out! Don't bait me! Don't bait me! Oh my goodness! Maybe this is how we should do the entire show. On this kind of day, it really does work. Interaction with the chat, and that actually reminds me I need to take a look so I don't get out to Arizona and Kitty is cussing me out, saying, look, I sent you this stuff well in advance. I know you're an old fogey, but I sent you this stuff well in advance. And it's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did, Kitty. But now I got to find it. So let's prepare and figure out what I want to do with that first block. Okay, I see. That makes sense to me. I'm good to go. Let me get back to y'all. I am curious if there's anything you want to talk about this morning in terms of what occurred. I didn't get to see the second part of Donald Trump. I didn't get to see the second part of Elon's conversation with Tucker. But I'm sure it was good. I'm sure it was good. In fact, no, I don't want to. I don't want to get confused. I was about to turn on and track the live show, but I can tell y'all can see me. I don't see anything about some sound issue. Mud water. I've seen the chaga mushroom stuff. I actually, a few years ago, Eurythmic bought some. There was some health guy online who convinced me, but I don't think I wound up using it. I did see that Arkansas has made the right to mine Bitcoin. I think that could run into some type supremacy issue if Congress tries to do something, but with us having control of Congress, that should not happen. And the Senate may try and do something. Hopefully not. You need a bi-weekly BS session. Darth Cajun, I like that idea. I do. Remind me of that when I get back from Arizona. A sweatshirt. Armat son, listen, I'm a Florida boy, okay? Born and raised. It got down into the 50s. And even in North Florida, for a born and raised Florida boy, when it gets down into the 50s, that's cold. Okay? But really, I got the sweatshirt because I'm traveling and I don't like to be cold. And they make it so damn cold sometimes in these airports or on these flights. It's like, okay, this is going to carry me into hot Arizona. I did check the weather. Nice and warm and hot out there, so I'm happy. But yeah, this thing is for the travel. Mid-50s wasn't really bad this morning in Gainesville, but definitely it was comfortable for me to have this thing on. So Jamie Dimon being interesting. I still don't know what to make sometimes with so much stuff going on, and this is going to be one of the main things I'm going to be interested in, just shooting the shit with people out in Arizona. We diverge and then we come back together on, thoughts. Perfectly fine and perfectly legit, but still very confusing times. Frustratingly confusing times. And I'm ready for these frustratingly confusing times to be over. And I know I'm not alone. But again, prudence rules my world. So I'm A-okay with a good bit longer. In my Schedule F imperative, I wrote about the drip, drip, drip. And I'm going to keep harping on the drip, drip, drip. A steady drop of water will wear a hole in a rock. That is true. And given the political angle, we really need to be prepared for the drip, drip, drip of process playing out over a 6-year period. Switch out the Congress in 2, switch out the Senate in 6. We really need to be focused on that. And we really need to have a principled litmus test or 2, Schedule F being one of them. I think that Restrict Act, we need to say hell no to that nonsense. So there are certain little things we can pay attention to and come to a consensus on, I do believe. Let me, at this 15-minute mark, go ahead and remind myself to get these 2 out of the way, and then we can kind of roll for 30 minutes or so. At least I think we can. Yeah, let me check this block. If y'all just bear with me. Here's our first ad of the day.
Benson Honey Farms delivers raw honey straight from the hive to your table. It is their mission to provide you the best raw honey at the lowest prices possible. By not pasteurizing, overheating, or filtering their honey, Benson Honey Farms ensures that all of its natural pollen and enzymes stay in the honey for maximum health benefits. So cut out the middleman and go straight to the source. Visit BensonHoneyFarms.com and use the rep code BADLANDS place your order today. That's BensonHoneyFarms.com, rep code BADLANDS.
All right. I want to now transition to ad number 2. And I want to let y'all know that Furman Power is our sponsor for the Great American Restoration Tour in Chandler, Arizona. And that is this Thursday through Sunday, April 20th through the 23rd. I've also been told the Furman Power Equipment people will be at this event, and we will be mixing and mingling with them. So I'm really looking forward to that event and wanting to thank them so much for their support. You know, this is a symbiotic type relationship. It's the content creators, it's the sponsors, it's the audience. You know, this is how we are going to move forward with our agenda towards total victory. And I couldn't be happier to have somebody like Furman Power Equipment so supportive of what we do. If you're in the Phoenix area or can get there, there are and remain a limited number of single-day in-person tickets still available. Come check us out if you can at all possible. But everyone should have a virtual ticket to this event. Remember, you'll have access to replays with either type of ticket, so get your tickets now on our website at badlandsmedia.tv. Furman generators are portable, versatile, durable, dependable, and user-friendly. Furman Power Equipment will be there to help you conquer anything life throws your way. Badlands Media is powered by Furman, and you should be too. For all your generator needs, go to FurmanPowerEquipment.com and use the discount code BADLANDS at checkout for 17% off. That's FurmanPowerEquipment.com and discount code BADLANDS for 17% off at checkout. All right. Now, thank you. Good reminder to take that off. Let me get back to your chat on this casual interaction with the audience Rattlegator report. And you know, Brian, I didn't bring a jacket. I was packing. I'm notoriously bad at packing and prepping for travel. And given everything that's happened in this house, oh man, it was a mess. But I saw it's going to be hot, and if it's dropping down into the 50s, hell, I can deal with that. Far better than when I was a kid, skinny as hell, and I'd be shaking, literally shaking, shivering when it dropped into the mid to low 60s. Those are funny days I look back on now. But yeah, Patriot Mike, there are many shiny objects being tossed around that appear to go nowhere. And this is the thing. Appearances can be deceiving in this environment we're in. And again, we've got to give some dap to these competent professionals who are working on our behalf, many of them outside of the sunlight, you know, outside of, how do I want to say this? Apparent view. And I also want to say, I think y'all know this, we have to be careful with what I deem the show me everything right freaking now stuff. That kind of approach needs to be slapped down with vigor, because that is working in the advantage for our adversary, and they've used that for years. They successfully boxed us into a corner, those of us, you know, who have tremendous respect for faith and the role faith has played in the development and maintenance of this country. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to read that piece the other day from First Things about, you know, gay marriage being something of the first major successful effort by the cancel culture crowd. Just turn everything upside down, make normal Americans frustrated, make them feel like they're losing their country, make normality seem something other than normal, make weirdness normal. All of that crap they've been doing, and they've been hammering because they've had control of the media. Badlands Media is part of the effort to call bullshit on that and to give regular Americans, faithful Americans, another option to maintain, walk the straight and narrow, at least make the good effort to do so, and support those people who have tremendous respect and faith in our nation and our nation's history. So we have to be careful. We got to be careful. Good morning. Good morning to each and every one of you joining me. Good afternoon to those where it is afternoon, or good evening. I mean, we do have viewers in this audience from around the globe, and that's always a tremendous honor, really and truly, that people take the time to join us in our little neck of the woods. Yes, Armadson, that is the solution. You don't lose yourself in prayer, but you remain faithful to prayer, and that does bring peace. We are advancing towards total victory, but the fight never ends. Even when we, in this realm, obtain what we appear to think of as victory, there will always be adversaries, always. And drip, drip, drip is very effective, Michael 44NC. I have great respect for it. It's what our founders, if we think about it, it's what our founders set up and relied upon. It's the faith they had in their progeny, that's us, that we would navigate this system through zigs and zags, trials and tribulations, and they instituted something in their mind, and I think it has been proven true, totally unique on the face of the planet, and something that we likely would be able to hold on to. And this moment in history has really tried us far more than I would have imagined. And because we do have, kids, a younger generation, where they honestly don't understand. They don't understand how they're being played. They don't understand how lucky they are. They don't understand the beauty in all of creation. And that's frustrating to me when you have so much abundance around you. Our poor people, many of them are obese, because we do live in the land of plenty. Even if what we're eating is plenty of improper or unhealthy foods, that's what happens when you live in a land of choice. So, but yeah, it's a very sad thing to see young people who don't understand what's staring them in the face. It's one of the points Elon has tried to make about the importance of a mission back to the moon and to Mars, the optimism that younger people need. Elon has recognized that there are some people on the globe who have tried to bring about nothing but doom and gloom for their own reasons. And those are not good reasons. So we have to fight that. We have to fight the good fight. And you fight the good fight, in my estimation, by remembering those inalienable rights, God-given, and optimism. We are not brought here to be fearful, and I am not fearful. HQ qualifier, John Harold, when we were first talking about doing this morning show, he really didn't want to have a solo doing the morning show. And I told him I was A-okay with that. And so we did first start with Patrick. Patrick, the mornings too early for him. And then, of course, everything happened with he and I. And so I am open to adding someone to the show. But, again, this is a younger crowd. And most of them are open to 8 a.m. Eastern uh, time shows. But yes, the political socioeconomic stuff is very important. The structure I wanted to try and set up with this show, I am still going to try and weave in, probably not as much as I originally anticipated. I think organically, I do like the way some of this is kind of casually gone. We're going to have to, I guess, at like a 6 month. What is this? Are we now like staring at 6 months? And maybe this is something that will happen out in Arizona. They'll give some kind of review of, okay, here are your numbers. This is what an audience looks like. This is what people seem to be responding to. Or going forward in the next 6 months, now that Twitter is monetizing and allowing you to come onto the platform, have subscriptions. And again, I'm going to say to every one of you here now, I have a twofold process with doing this morning show. One is to try and help Badlands Media get situated and get the word out and be part of this community of younger people trying to do the right thing. The other part is my own individual effort, as long as Twitter brings back my Rattlegator account. And so I will be trying to do subscriptions on that platform as well. And kind of, I see them as complementary. Again, this was John's approach. I agree with that approach entirely. We want to stand up content creators. We want to allow Badlands to be a platform for those content creators and their own little platforms, a universe of content creators that we can be comfortable with and supportive of. So we'll see how it plays out over the next 6 months. I'm pretty confident things are definitely moving in the right direction. Yeah, Diana, Trump has been good about saying nothing can stop what is coming, essentially, and presenting a confident persona. That's incredibly important. And he's been very good at that. There's never been a sense of worry in his presentation whatsoever. I appreciate that. Darth Cajun, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Good morning, Mrs. Watley. Yeah, DAB 77. That Fox Dominion settlement, I'll tell you how I look at that. Because we know Fox has not been rolling with us. Fox has been faking the funk. Few of us have forgiven them for that bullshit they played with the Arizona call, right? So we know they're faking the funk. And this to me was something of a scripted lawsuit, okay? I don't think this was what some of these people on the left seem to think it is. And, Fox somehow got, chicken. No. These people engaged in something of a dance, a bullshit dance with something of an insurance policy behind the bullshit. So I'm not even, well, let me not get off track, but I don't care about the Fox and Dominion settlement. We're still going to get Dominion's ass. I have no doubt about that. Mitchie Me, I did not make my pineapple juice. I put the damn thing in the freezer, and I said I'll just worry about it when I get back from Arizona. You just got to understand certain things about me, okay? You just got to understand. Popeye said it. I am who I am, right? So, No. It's chilly in the mornings and at night, but hot during the day in Alabama. Yeah, it's that time of year, and you get situated to the temperature wherever you are, uh, especially if you've been there a period of time or you grew up there. Um, I never quite that year in Germany. I never quite. It's like, oh my goodness, please. I was so happy to get off the plane in Charleston and embrace the heat and humidity. I was so freaking happy. Yeah, I think the NFTs have listen, I think they have multiple utilizations. I gave two, but I think they have multiple. We do have more than we know, Thomas B. Truth. Q is correct about that. Everything that we need, essentially, we just don't put it into action. We just don't understand how to break bread with one another, coalesce, and we sweat the small stuff sometimes to separate us. I'm not interested in that. Not interested in it at all. Yeah, Michael 44. If you go to Walmart, the number of obese people is unbelievable. You don't have to go to Walmart. I saw someone post a video from the year I graduated from high school, 1977. And they said it was just stunning. It was a general video of high school kids just panning around. I don't know what high school it was or anything like that, but I remember it. It brought back memories, and there just weren't obese people like now. I see kids who are obese, and it's like, I don't remember all this. I don't remember all this. We do have a problem with the food. We do have a problem with some type of corporate influence that has denied the impact of the food. We do have to train up our citizens better, to not do, you know, what gets poor people obese. I mean, when you think about it and you're poor, there is a very simple change you can make by eating very basic food. It's just that the pyramid that was trained to us was a lie. This is part of the problem. Now, was it a purposeful lie? It may very well have been, but there's a lot of things we can do. Michael 44, I wouldn't have a problem with some tryouts. You let me know, and look, I'd actually be a-okay if there are people in the chat who maybe once a month want to kind of co-host, have some back and forths. Some of these people talking about all these chemtrails and changing the weather and all that kind of. Hey, I'm good. We can set something up. I don't have any problem. I think it might be fascinating, to have some regular viewers who are of a mind to do so, participate in the show. Maybe one day a month or something. We can have a rotating cadre. I'm okay with that. Cheryl 228, I like your show as is. Thank you, love. Yeah, call-ins are definitely something I'm open to. Working it out, setting it up. This is another thing, and it may be that what I might want to do is set up an hour, let's say, in the evening to record some call-ins, just audio, and then have that during the week, play some of that stuff. Maybe one day out of the week, we set up an hour or so for some call-in. If there's some question you want or point you want to make, I can see setting up some kind of a vetting process and a sign off, generating an itemized list of people who want to participate, may want to have a subject discussed, may want to make a particular point. Maybe I give short shrift to it or whatever. Yeah, absolutely A-okay with that. Thank you, T. Geller. I think my perspective is what makes the show charming too. I do have an ego. I do have an ego. Diana, outstanding. This is the old school way. Offer your grandkids, give them some incentives on stuff they need to remember. The importance of why. It's not memorization for the sake of memorization. There are important things we can learn from the way things used to be done. Fox. Michael 44. Yeah, we might have to get you on. Fox went trans and got a vajayjay. Oh boy. Oh boy. The pussification of America, I tell you, man. Oh, that's great, Armatson. Yeah, it is slow. It is slow and sometimes purposefully so. The thing about America and the freedoms that we have, and why Badlands, I hope, mimics some of that freedom and doesn't become one type of network. Spice of life is a good thing in the American context. Just some differences. Okay, everybody's cool. We ain't gotta be cookie cutter. Yeah, it's a Mitchie Me. That's one of the things, I do want the show to grow. And of course I want participants in the chat, but it is something of a blessing to have something of a dedicated crew who tend to comment, who you do get a sense of, we are social creatures, and this is something of a social interaction, whether people are simply observing or watching. But yeah, especially for the podcast people who don't really get a chance to view this or see the chat as it flows. Yeah, maybe some kind of call in and addition is how it might responsibly grow and maybe add to the flavor of the show. Yeah. Michael, the thing about Q. If you think about Q, how do I want to say this? With an operation like that, you see how they've used these deltas, right? So they've had some interaction with some anons. They've made some comments. They've set out some propositions. And our adversary, this is my personal take, our adversary watching it, reading it, trying to come to terms with it, whatever, saw something put into the stream, and they're thinking the here and now. Looking at it in hindsight now, I think we can see something of future proves past, right? And you have to be careful when you've set out that kind of operation, and you've got people watching, people making their own interpretations, people forgetting. Again, this is my personal opinion. People forgetting purposeful disinformation is included in there. You have to keep our adversary off balance, not knowing what the hell is what. That means you have to confuse us too. Okay? So you have to be careful when you're making posts like now, right now, for right now. So I suspect that has something to do with the pace of the operation, the presentation of the operation, the planning of how that operation was going to play out. That's just my That's just my guess. As somebody who doesn't dive into Q, happy to have people bring it on and say, okay, here's the Delta. This is interesting. What do you think? I'm okay with that. I just don't have time to dive into that stuff and try and track X, Y, and Z, knowing this is just my orientation, knowing a little bit about psychological operations, having appreciation for it. A younger brother who was in military intelligence when he was like with the 82nd Airborne or whatever. Yeah. One sick hick. If this is your first show and you are digging it, I thank you. I thank you so much. "20 miles from the Canadian border." Joe, wow. That's up there. Yeah, that "you're fired" moment, DAB 77. Not sure we're going to get that the way we would like to have it, you know. But we might. He's definitely capable of setting that up and delivering it. Definitely capable. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back and do my next block. Flying Storm, why are you giving me a Gab post? Yeah, Biden family, human trafficking, prostitutes. Wow. The Biden isn't, it's just weird. There's something supremely weird about the whole Biden situation. I just can't. I look for resolution and I don't find it. But I will say the most logical explanation to me of what has transpired is Hunter Biden did get in over his head. He probably was young and dumb in some kind of way. He got trapped. He was used. He wised up and he flipped. And that's why the laptop was left. That's how introduction of evidence was made. This is how he proved that he had flipped. You know, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. It's just so much craziness. And we just seem like we're watching so much of a script, and it can go in so many different ways. The script, that is, almost soap opera like, almost wrestling like. This is, again, what Kyle has been talking about with kayfabe and all this other kind of stuff. Wrestling is a good guide. You know, performance actors. I heard somebody talk about that the other day, yesterday, last night, maybe as I was packing, talking about, this Tyrus guy, I think, on the Gutfeld show. Him being a performance actor, having participated in the wrestling universe while being an athlete. We do seem like we have some performance actors in positions in our government, right? What the hell? So, I mean, one of the things I am going to be very curious to talk to people out there in Arizona, you know, because when I see Pompeo supportive of Ukraine, that speaks volumes to me. And I'm already in a place where I don't want to hear this Russia stuff. I don't want to hear this China stuff. I ain't trying to hear it. We'll be happy as hell if it turns out to be true and it's successful. But only if it's successful. I'm going to be one pissed off mofo if it's true and it's not successful. But I see performance actors. I see scripts. I see craziness that's only explainable in Occam Razor kind of way. You're being either made to do this or you're being led to do this because you just don't know any better. Mitchie Me, you did get me to buy a pineapple, and I'm everything I've seen, I'm pleased that you did. I am going to make use of it. I'm going to be a good boy. I just, I got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, the berberine that I've added to my protocol, I think, is working nicely. I'm going to see how the next month or so plays out. But I feel good. I legitimately feel good just from a physical standpoint. Okay, time for me to figure out my next block of ads. All right, let's see if I can be faithful to this. First up is Mr. Gold and Silver.
Silicon Valley Bank debacle demonstrated just how fragile our banking system can be. We don't know what the future holds, but history has shown us that physical gold and silver are a reliable store of value to protect your wealth. Don't let fear of the unknown paralyze you. Take the first step towards securing your financial future. Reach out to Kirk and his team at kirkelliottphd.com/badlands. That's kirkelliottphd.com/badlands.
Yeah, and I have to tell y'all in between these ads, I'm at my older brother's house in Orlando, and they've let me take over their Florida room to do this show. Family, it matters. It matters. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, are you getting a great night's sleep? If you aren't, it's time to upgrade your bed with the My Mattress Topper 2.0 from our friends at MyPillow.com. The My Mattress Topper 2.0 is a 3-inch coil hybrid topper, the perfect blend of comfort foam, support foam, and nanocoils. This provides the perfect sleeping surface. Nanocoil technology offers dynamic response to your body's natural movements, providing superior support as well as reducing partner disturbance. The My Mattress Topper's inner springs transfer heat more efficiently and create a channel for airflow to better regulate sleeping temperatures. It has a patented cover with phase change technology to help keep your body temperature right for you as an individual. And its superior durability resists sagging, settlement, and body impressions. The My Mattress Topper 2.0 comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. You can get your My Mattress Topper 2.0 for as low as $219.59 with the promo code BADLANDS. Just go to mypillow.com/badlands for discounts on all MyPillow products. All right. I've almost made it through, and now I'm going to have to get ready to go to this daggum airport and process. But yeah. What a day. It's been an incredible 2, 3, it's amazing. You lose track of time. I think back to 2015 and it's like, wow, damn near 8 years ago, watching all of this stuff play out, trying to scope out Marco Rubio and saying, yep, I think that's going to be my man. I think I'm going to roll with Marco. And that just seems like so forever, truly forever ago. I still can remember, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, 2036, 2037, 2038, 2039, 2040, 2041, 2042, 2043, 2044, 2045, 2046, 2047, 2048, 2049, 2050, 2051, 2052, 2053, 2054, 2055, 2056, 2057, 2058, 2059, 2060, 2061, 2062, 2063, 2064, 2065, 2066, 2067, 2068, 2069, 2070, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2079, 2080, 2081, 2082, 2083, 2084, 2085, 2086, 2087, 2088, 2089, 2090, 2091, 2092, 2093, 2094, 2095, 2096, 2097, 2098, 2099, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, trying to actually going to the San Francisco Bay Area and driving up from the Bay Area to Oregon for a board of directors meetings for this nonprofit I was working with. And coming back from that meeting, having been amazed by the Oregon coast. You know, if y'all haven't made it out to the Northwest, especially the Oregon coast, wow, it's beautiful. It is really. Coming back, and this is when Ben Carson dropped out and signed off on Trump, and my whole orientation just like, oh, he is going to be the nominee. I do have to pay far more serious attention to this man and give him some dap, real dap. And everything has changed since then. I have not once had a doubt about this man ever since that moment. So it just seems like, so I can't, I know I'm not the only one where it just seems like that is so long ago. We have gone through so much, and the pace of Donald Trump, you know, hitting these people with haymakers and exposing people we really presume were working primarily for us, and people who would never oppose a proposal that seemed to be absolutely positively working for the nation. But we've seen that in his own party. Amazing, just amazing stuff. TL Bar 79, I think our legislators need to make laws where you cannot perform psyops on Americans by our government. Well, this was the whole thing about the CIA. You know, that exists. And they didn't give a damn about that. Where they thought it necessary, they've employed other nations' intelligence services to do what they cannot legally do, or they've just done it their damn self, or they've worked in coordination with the FBI. It's just, I wouldn't have believed it. Yeah, Eurythmic. Somehow I saw that Elon Tucker exchange on YouTube. And I also saw one of the untold stories, I think, is the fact that Google bought into this nonsense that we're not an American company. You know what? We're a citizen of the world, and then we're a company of the world. Bullshit. And I think Google's in for a world of hurt. Google is in for a world of hurt. And I saw also a tweet last night while packing that somebody asked Elon about something about a lawsuit against OpenAI. And Elon said, wait for it. They were saying, why haven't you? Or I thought you might have sued OpenAI by now. And Elon said, wait for it. So look, people, there's a whole bunch of things yet to unfold. Major haymakers are coming to these freaking corporations that have failed us, that dared to operate against the Constitution and with big government against us. They are going to be made to pay, and it's going to be a humongous penalty. Bet your bottom dollar on that. So, yeah, I'm going to be here for it. I can sense it. I've always believed it. And, you know, people have sat up there trying to criticize Donald Trump. That is not a man to walk away from this fight when they have tried to take down him and his family. Woe be upon your ass. I'm just saying. When I tell you there's been some mess in my family and I want to whoop some ass, Donald Trump wants to whoop some ass. Do not bet against him. Yeah, TL bar 79. Hunter may be the whistleblower. He may be a whistleblower. Um, I just never forget Trump Jr. and other people on Team Trump asking people, hey, so and so, where's Hunter? It was like they know something. They want that question floating out there. They want people asking, where the hell is Hunter? Something is going on. Salty Zero, here's the thing about riots. I think that shit has played out. Country ain't even paying attention to that crap. Don't even give a damn about that crap. That mess has played out. They can march as much as they want. Some idiot in Tennessee can walk inside some chamber with a casket. We don't give a damn. Do your little theater. We don't give a damn. Bonnie's Trumpet. I'm not opposed to interviewing 3 of your friends about a podcast. Okay. Might be something I want to try and do on my own private, because then, this, I don't know where John is, and they may have an approach with Badlands Media beyond what I've thought about. So I don't want to raise any issue there, but I would be absolutely open to communicating with you. You just send me something, identify yourself to rattlegator@gmail.com. I don't have a problem thinking about that. And then if agreeable, setting it up and making it happen. Yeah. Flying Storm. Thank you. I think I am recovering. I think, hey, like much of the country, at some point you resolve to just say, I've got to recover and move forward. I cannot dwell on things I cannot control. Oh my goodness, I am about to run out of time. Yeah, the 1 Sig 82. Yeah, you have to combat that spiritual. You and your family have to combat that, and you and your family control that. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to think too much about, wow, are they putting stuff in the, I don't know. There's so much I have not wanted to acknowledge. And slowly but surely, more and more, at least have had to acknowledge the possibility. Yeah, I'm so geeked. It's going to be so great to meet these people, to mix and mingle, to laugh, break bread together. This is what we are meant to do. I saw 2 friends in Belize, with their wives just having big fun in the last month. And it's like, hell, I should have been there. Ben Carson was the one who put you on the Trump train. Hey, he was the clincher for me. He's a standard bearer. And he was the clincher for me. Thank you, Mitchie Me. Thank you. Safe. All right. Okay. We do need accountability. We do. We have to have accountability. I'll tell y'all something. And Jag Electo, you reminded me, and I'm going to get out of here. I know y'all got to go. When Elon said he's setting up a rival GPT, and he said, I think it's going to be called Truth GPT. Was that a wink, wink, nod, nod to Donald Trump and Truth Social? I'm just, Truth GPT. That's quite a name. Quite a name. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm well past my time. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this episode. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow from Chandler, Arizona. And hopefully we'll have to figure out a way to have some of these content creators generate a 2 minute, 1 minute, 30-second, 3 minute, whatever, little blurb. So just through this audience, we can present them and let them say, this is what we're about. This is what we're trying to do on our show. Hey, hope to see you join us one of these days. Okay, we got a great crew, and I hope y'all are going to join me tomorrow from Arizona. Okay, later, Gators.